On December 27th, 2020, President Trump signed in the $2.3 trillion COVID relief fund. But tucked away deep in the pages of this new legislation was an interesting committee comment. Trump was signing into law an instruction for the Department of Defense, Pentagon, FBI, and any other agencies, including the CIA, to submit a report to the Senate Intelligence Committee. The Joint Chiefs and the Director of National Intelligence now have 180 days to write a report on all observed aerial phenomena, details of any investigation in the unidentified phenomenon, and any data that they have collected. So we might just be less than 180 days from disclosure. If you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, really helps us out. The instruction really is all-encompassing. It doesn't just ask military sources or the CIA to tell them everything they know. It also requests that the FBI do the same. Now, the report requests that the FBI are to report on any investigation into unidentified intrusions into restricted US airspace. This is not just about the military chasing down unidentified flying objects. It's also about what our police agencies have done to then look into these stories. Now, this committee comment goes on to ask for a report on what conclusions the different agencies have come to. Now, I find this really interesting. The committee isn't just asking for dates, times, interviews, evidence. It's asking for what conclusions those agencies have then come up with. What do the different agencies believe they are seeing, if anything? Is this human-made technology? Is this the Chinese? Is this alien technology? And if it is alien technology, what might the purpose be? Not just that they are here and that they've been seen this day, that day, but potentially why do we think they are here? It's not just the what, but the why. Republican Senator Marco Rubio chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee. He has really been pushing for years for more transparency on the UAP phenomena. He wants to know what is flying above American skies. Now, he seems to be using any tactic at his disposal to get just that.
Are we alone?
No, look, here's the interesting thing for me about all this, and the reason why I think it's an important topic, okay? And that is we have things flying over our military bases and places where we're conducting military exercises, and we don't know what it is, and it isn't ours. So that's a legitimate question to ask. I would say that, frankly, that if it's something of outside this planet, that might actually be better than the fact that we've seen some technological leap on behalf of the Chinese or the Russians or some other adversary that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. But the bottom line is, if there are things flying over your military bases and you don't know what they are because they're not yours, and they exhibit potentially technologies that you don't have at your own disposal, that to me is a national security risk and one that we should be looking into. And so that's the premise I begin with.
Let's clear this up. Who would be looking into this? And they would be generating some sort of a publicly available report on, you're not using the phrase unidentified flying objects. You have another euphemism for it, unidentified aerial phenomenon, which is not.
Yeah, I didn't come up with that. That's the one that the military uses internally, and ultimately, you know, that's the one we used. And what we're saying, yeah. So the Office of Naval Intelligence, this is over, has impacted the Navy for the most part. Have seen reports on this now for the better part of a decade. Other countries have had similar reports, and so. But for our perspective is, there is someone flying in the airspace that no one else is allowed to fly in, and we don't know who it is, and it isn't something we have. We need to know what that is. I mean, that's in my mind. I mean, I don't understand why we wouldn't want to know what it is. Maybe there's a completely sort of boring explanation for it, but we need to find out. And so that's really what we're asking about, and we're asking them to make public as much as possible that information. None of that really fits into the mold of classified per se.
All right, but what's your gut? Are we alone in the universe, or is there something else out there?
I don't have a gut feeling about it because it's a phenomenon. It's unexplained. You know, I just want to know what it is, and if we can't determine what it is, then that's a fact point we need to take into account. I wouldn't venture to speculate beyond that.
So perhaps we are getting a parting gift from the Trump administration, but let's see what happens when Biden comes in. For now, I'm not expecting disclosure following this report. I expect the usual tricks and redacted information with the normal national security excuses, but following the Tic Tac and Nimitz videos, maybe we will see more than we expect again. Maybe we are seeing a slight change in focus from the agencies who normally spend so much effort blocking the truth. Who knows, we might just get another peek behind the curtain of lies and cover-ups.
You and I, we know we disagree about that, but we have a whole day ahead to go on this. Before we go, one of the things you have as president is the access to all the information in the world, all the mysteries out there. And I was just struck in the last couple of weeks, we're reading more and more reports of Navy pilots seeing lots and lots of UFOs. Have you been briefed on that? What do you make of it?
I have. I think it's probably, I want them to think whatever they think. They do say, I mean, I've seen and I've read and I've heard, and I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
Do you think you'd know if there were evidence of extraterrestrials?
Well, I think our great pilots would know. And some of them really see things that are a little bit different than in the past. So we're going to see. But we'll watch it. You'll be the first to know.
So has Trump signed in a law that will make sure disclosure finally happens? Is 2021 going to be the year that we finally find out the truth one way or another? One thing's for certain, the countdown may have actually begun.